Welcome to the webinar series on mainstreaming urban climate action, which includes 4 short webinars on concepts related to climate action in cities. This series has been developed by TERI in collaboration with the European Union International Urban Cooperation Programme in India. This webinar module 4, titled Mainstreaming City-Level Climate Action, focuses on the core drivers of urban resilience that are necessary for mainstreaming climate action at the city level. So let's begin. Cities are constantly challenged by climate change-induced shocks and stresses such as flooding, heat waves, and sea level rise that pose risks to the urban infrastructure, economy, and the overall quality of life. So it is imperative for cities to adopt measures that improve their sustainability, resilience, and coping capacity in the face of climate change. As the national urban development missions, such as the Smart Cities Mission and the Atal Mission for Rejuvenation and Urban Transformation, have earmarked an overall investment of over 6 lakh crores in 4,041 urban local bodies since 2014, safeguarding this investment is thus essential for a risk-aware, forward-looking and integrated urban transformation in India. Climate action for building urban resilience embraces strategies for adaptation and mitigation, while recognizing the complexity of rapidly growing urban areas. A resilient city incorporates climate variability and considerations into the planning and development of different urban infrastructure systems, such as road networks, water supply, and waste management. Urban climate action is an iterative process that involves multiple stakeholders engaged in the urban development process, and the core drivers for mainstreaming urban climate action are policy frameworks and institutional arrangements, data management and informed decision-making, stakeholder engagements and building partnerships, and capacity building. Effective urban governance and supportive policies are important for building resilience to climate change. Policies and plans need to address multiple sectors and dimensions, including land use planning, housing and transport, to ensure linkages between climate change adaptation and the development priorities of the city. Additionally, prompt coordination and information sharing among various government departments is essential for comprehensive urban climate action. For instance, investments in urban drainage systems will be more effective when simultaneous efforts are made to upgrade solid waste management systems that will limit clogging of drains and reduce the overall occurrence of urban flooding.
Climate actions at the state and national level in India are driven under the ambit of the National Action Plan on Climate Change. This also includes the National Mission on Sustainable Habitat that provides guidelines on low carbon and resilient urban growth. At the same time, there are also the guidelines at the national level from the National Disaster Management Authority, which provide guidance on disaster risk reduction in urban areas with the perspective of urban flooding and heat waves. At the same time, many cities have also been making pocketed efforts towards resilience planning and implementation with support from external funding, government and non-government agencies. However, for any substantial benefits in this direction, there is a need to institutionalize these efforts at the national level so that local action can be driven and implemented in cities across the country.
The EU-funded Urban Low Emission Development Strategy of Shimla City in Himachal Pradesh is an initiative by the city towards mainstreaming climate action. Under this project, Shimla implemented several actions proposed under its climate resilience strategy by engaging a wide range of stakeholders and building their institutional capacity.
The Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs has implemented several initiatives in the recent past to drive cities towards climate action from a point of view of mitigation, adaptation, and disaster risk resilience. These include the Standard Operational Procedures on Urban Flooding, which was released in 2017, the Ease of Living Index, which addresses loss and damage from disasters as one of its key criteria, and the most recent, the Climate Smart Cities Assessment Framework, which was developed and launched by the Ministry in 2019. The framework has 28 indicators across 5 themes. Based on this framework, 96 smart cities reported their climate performance data for the first time in 2019. This year, 139 cities are participating in this assessment, and it is intended that by the end of 2025, more than 500 cities will be conducting this exercise on an annual basis. The idea is that this framework will help cities to build on their existing initiatives and mainstream resilience with an objective to future-proof their investments.
The significance of data for resilience building is well understood by various city authorities. However, challenges with respect to the limited availability of data, quality of data, difference in scale or resolution, and interoperability hinders their usage for day-to-day decision making. Therefore, standard protocols regarding the quality, collection, sharing, storage, format, and ownership of data are essential.
Data is critical for resilience building, for project conceptualization, implementation, performance monitoring, as well as informed decision making during emergencies and day-to-day normal functioning of cities. When it comes to Indian cities, we are currently at the nascent stage of data collection and management processes. While a number of smart cities have functional integrated command and control centers, they still need to be linked with the existing urban governance platforms and early warning systems to be able to help with the informed decision-making processes.
Data sharing platforms, especially, can bring together data sourced from different stakeholders on themes such as infrastructure and services through standardized formats to aid informed decision making. Examples of such urban data platforms include the EU Open Data Portal, Copernicus, and the India Urban Data Exchange or IUDX. Such data sets can proactively help cities to respond to different natural hazards and climate change impacts. For example, risk assessments based on geospatial data can help plan new developments and critical infrastructure away from hazard-prone areas through better land use planning and zoning regulations. Climate action planning largely depends on multi-stakeholder collaborations that bring together multidisciplinary technical, scientific, and local knowledge into the decision-making process. Moreover, it is an adaptive cycle of action and reflection that progressively builds the capacity of decision makers over time to incorporate new information and uncertainty into their future plans and actions. The IUC program of the European Union is a prime example of such multi-stakeholder engagement that supports sustainable development through city-to-city diplomacy and mutual learning. IUC focuses on two components: city-to-city cooperation on sustainable urban development and sub-national actions under the Global Covenant of Mayors or GCOM initiative. As an active member of the GCOM, the city of Turku in Finland is pacing towards climate neutral status by 2029. Let us now look at some of the success factors that have contributed towards this endeavor.
Turku is the oldest city of our country. In 2029, we'll celebrate our 800th anniversary. By the same time, we'll become one of the first carbon neutral areas in the world. By now, we have already halved our emissions from the level of 1990. During the same period of time, our economy has grown considerably. What have been the success factors for making this happen? First, our Sustainable Development Agenda and climate action are long-term commitments with a steady track of progress. Since 2010, by a City Council decision, we have been part of the European Covenant of Mayors, and we have contributed at the Global Covenant from the very beginning. Second success factor is that we listen to science very carefully. A third important success factor in Turku has been that we have been able to combine climate action with other policy areas and with other benefits. Both mitigation and adaptation actions have tremendous impacts on health, well-being, safety and economy. These synergies need to be communicated effectively and everyone called upon to join climate action. Thank you.
Knowledge dissemination and awareness generation about the expected impacts of climate change and the need to adapt and mitigate are crucial starting points for all capacity building efforts. Moreover, education and training of local leaders and practitioners based on their capacity building needs can help bridge the gaps between the technical know-how and institutional capacity of urban authorities. Through capacity building programs, cities should promote research and urban innovation by private sector and academia, support ongoing operations and maintenance of urban infrastructure systems, and strengthen resources necessary to develop, finance, and implement climate actions. Climate change can adversely affect the basic services, infrastructure, and the health of cities. At the same time, urban activities are major sources of greenhouse gas emissions. It is essential, therefore, to make cities an integral part of the solution in addressing climate change through data-driven informed decision-making, through multi-stakeholder engagements, and through mainstreaming of climate action into the urban development frameworks.